Folks, let's go way back. Way back. Before Wi-Fi, before instant mac and cheese, before your grandpa was complaining about the price of gas, humans, bless our simple hairy hearts, had one primary form of entertainment: looking up. And what did we see? Stars, lots of them. A cosmic glitter bomb exploded all over the night sky, and naturally, after we got tired of connecting the dots to make vaguely animal-shaped pictures, look, Og, it's a space bear. Our minds started to wander. We looked at all those twinkling lights and thought, is anyone else out there? And if so, do they have better snacks? This was humanity's first group text to the cosmos, a collective, "You guys seeing this?" This wasn't just idle campfire chatter, mind you. Oh no. The ancient Greeks, who were basically the philosophy majors of the ancient world, got really into it. Philosophers like Anaximander and Epicurus looked at the infinite universe and concluded it would be statistically bonkers for Earth to be the only inhabited world. It's like going to a Costco the size of the galaxy and thinking you're the only person who bought a giant tub of cheese balls. It just doesn't add up. They didn't have telescopes, they didn't have rockets, but they had logic. Fast forward a few thousand years. We've got telescopes, we've got radios, and we've got a whole new level of anxiety. Suddenly, we weren't just wondering if aliens existed, we were actively looking for them under every celestial rock. And folks, we got a little trigger-happy. The history of UFO sightings is less a chronicle of extraterrestrial visitation and more a blooper reel of humanity mistaking perfectly normal things for alien invaders. It's like thinking the Roomba is a hostile robot here to steal your socks, which, to be fair, sometimes feels plausible. But most of the time, it's just a vacuum cleaner bumping into the furniture of reality. One of the greatest hits, the chart topper of mistaken identities, is the humble weather balloon. These things are responsible for more UFO reports than bad chili is for indigestion. The government has been launching these high-altitude balloons for decades to study weather patterns, atmospheric conditions, probably to see if birds get altitude sickness. But to the untrained eye, a giant reflective object silently drifting miles up in the sky looks a heck of a lot like a scout ship from planet Zorp. People would call the authorities breathless, describing a silent metallic craft hovering ominously, and the Air Force would have to patiently explain for the millionth time that it was just a balloon, not an alien. A balloon. Then there are the atmospheric phenomena. Ball lightning, which is a real thing, looks exactly like a sentient plasma ball from a 1950s B-movie. Lenticular clouds, smooth lens-shaped clouds over mountains. Roswell, New Mexico, July 1947. The story that launched 1,000 conspiracy theories, 100 terrible TV movies, and at least one pretty decent museum. The legend goes like this: a flying saucer, presumably piloted by a being who seriously flunked interstellar driving school, crashed in the desert. The government swooped in, collected the wreckage and the little alien bodies, and then told the world it was just a weather balloon. A weather balloon! The most audacious, unbelievable, "do you think I was born yesterday?" cover-up in history, or was it? Folks, the truth is out there, and it's somehow even more ridiculous and less exciting than you'd hope. A rancher named Mac Brazel finds a bunch of weird debris scattered across his field. Metallic foil, strange I-beams with purplish markings, and some kind of tough, papery material. He does what any sensible person would do and calls the sheriff, who then calls the local Army airfield. The base intelligence officer, a guy named Jesse Marcel, comes out, takes one look at this stuff, and his brain immediately goes to flying saucer. He even lets the local paper run a headline that screamed, "RAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region." For one glorious day, Roswell was the center of the universe. Then the buzzkill arrived. The very next day, the military held a press conference and said, Whoa, hold your horses, folks. Our bad. It wasn't a flying saucer. It was just, a weather balloon." And they held up the sad, floppy remains of an actual weather balloon, which looked nothing like the exotic debris the rancher described. This, right here, is where the conspiracy was born. If Roswell is the alien myth's birth, then Area 51 is its awkward teenage years. It's the place where all the cool secret stuff supposedly happens. Located in the middle of the Nevada desert, a place so remote and uninviting that even tumbleweeds think twice before rolling through, Area 51 is the holy grail for UFO enthusiasts. It's the top-secret military base where, according to legend, the government reverse engineers captured alien technology, performs autopsies on little gray dudes, and probably has a killer 4th of July barbecue that we're not invited to. The signs around the perimeter warn that use of deadly force is authorized. Area 51. Trespassers will be asked to participate in experimental studies. Nothing says we're just testing weather equipment like a threat to vaporize you on sight. The mystique of Area 51 is all about what we don't know. For decades, the US government wouldn't even admit the place existed. If you asked them about it, they'd just stare at you blankly, as if you'd asked for the recipe for their grandma's secret meatloaf. It was a geographical black hole. This official denial, of course, was like pouring gasoline on the fire of speculation. If they're hiding its existence, they must be hiding something amazing, like a captured spaceship, or a portal to another dimension, or at the very least, a really, really good casino. The secrecy was the best marketing campaign the alien conspiracy industry could have ever asked for. So what's really going on there? Well, in 2013, the CIA finally declassified some documents confirming what everyone with Google Earth already knew. Alright, let's talk about crop circles. For a while there, you couldn't open a tabloid without seeing some elaborate geometric pattern mysteriously carved into a field of wheat in the English countryside. The patterns were huge and complex and seemingly appeared overnight. The immediate conclusion? Aliens, obviously. They'd traveled trillions of miles across the cold, unforgiving vacuum of space just to leave a pretty doodle in our barley. It was either a first contact message of profound cosmic importance or the work of an extraterrestrial teenager with a bad case of intergalactic boredom. Either way, it was weird. These weren't just simple circles, folks. Intricate fractals, mathematical equations, and even what looked like replies to messages we had sent into space. One famous crop circle appeared to be a response to the Arecibo message, a radio signal we beamed out in 1974. The alien version showed a different solar system, a non-humanoid figure, and a different DNA structure. People lost their minds. This was it. Proof. The aliens were not only real, but they were also art critics, giving us feedback on our rudimentary space graffiti. The level of detail was astounding, and the speed at which they appeared was baffling. Let's be honest, folks. Most of what we think we know about aliens doesn't come from science. It comes from Hollywood. For a century, movie makers have been our primary source for extraterrestrial education, and let's just say their curriculum has been a little inconsistent. One minute, aliens are wise, benevolent space Buddhas here to teach us about peace and love. The next, they're giant, slimy bugs who want to wear our skin as a festive jumpsuit and blow up the White House. It really depends on what was polling well with test audiences that week. Our entire perception of alien life has been shaped by screenwriters, special effects artists, and studio executives looking for the next summer blockbuster. In the early days of cinema, like in the 1950s, aliens were almost always a metaphor for our Cold War anxieties. They were invaders, a monolithic, faceless enemy coming to destroy our way of life. Think the War of the Worlds invasion of the body snatchers. These weren't stories about biology or astronomy. They were about communism. The aliens represented the creeping, insidious threat from a foreign power that could look just like your neighbor, but secretly wanted to turn you into a soulless pod person. It's a testament to our paranoia that we looked at the vast, wondrous cosmos, and our first thought was, they're coming to get us. Then in the late 70s and 80s, something shifted. We got a new kind of alien, the friendly kind. Steven Spielberg gave us Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Beyond the silver screen, aliens have completely taken over our culture. They're not just in movies, they're everywhere. They're on our t-shirts, in our video games, and in the I Wanna Believe poster hanging in every quirky college dorm room. The gray alien, that big-headed, skinny-bodied, almond-eyed figure, is as recognizable as Mickey Mouse. This specific image was largely popularized by the alleged abduction story of Betty and Barney Hill in 1961, and then cemented by books like Whitley Strieber's Communion. We went from having no idea what an alien might look like to having a universally agreed-upon model, which is convenient for Halloween costume manufacturers, if nothing else. This cultural saturation has had a weird effect. It's made the idea of aliens both more commonplace and more of a joke. You can buy alien-themed keychains at a gas station in Nevada. You can watch animated shows where the alien is a cynical, beer-guzzling member of the family. The alien has been domesticated. It's been turned into a mascot, a meme, a punchline. This makes it really hard to have a serious conversation about the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Because for every thoughtful scientific inquiry, there are a dozen novelty alien autopsy kits. So, after all the hoaxes, misunderstandings, Hollywood blockbusters, where does that leave the actual, real-life search for aliens? Well, folks, it's a lot less dramatic and involves way more math. The modern search, led by programs like SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, isn't about chasing strange lights in the sky. It's about listening very, very carefully. Scientists use massive radio telescopes, basically giant metal ears pointed at the cosmos, to scan for signals that don't look natural. They're looking for a pattern, a beacon, a message in a bottle. Anything that suggests an intelligent technological civilization is out there saying hello. It's the ultimate long-distance call, and we've been trying to connect for decades. We've sent our own messages too. In 1974, we blasted the Arecibo message into space, a simple infographic about humanity, our DNA, our solar system. More recently, we've loaded golden records onto the Voyager probes, now hurtling through interstellar space. So, after all this, what's the bottom line? We've journeyed from ancient Greeks wondering about other worlds to modern scientists analyzing the chemical composition of alien air. We've debunked crashes, exposed pranksters, sat through a lot of questionable alien movies. We've seen how our hopes, fears, our own secret technologies have been projected onto the night sky. The story of our search for aliens is really the story of us. It's a comedy of errors on a cosmic scale. What do we actually factually know about aliens? We know that the building blocks of life, carbon, water, organic molecules, are everywhere in the universe. They're in asteroids and nebulae in the space between the stars. The ingredients are out there. We also know that there are billions, perhaps trillions of planets in our galaxy alone. Many of them are in the Goldilocks zone of their stars, where conditions could be just right for liquid water and, therefore, life as we know it. The universe is not just a stage for life. It's a fully stocked kitchen waiting for a chef.